Joining us. My name is Kim Train and I'm your 2020 Toronto Crew President-elect. We're so happy to have you join us online for today's webinar on how to raise your work from home game. Before we jump into today's content, I want to share a few announcements of upcoming events. So the first one is tomorrow there's a seminar being put on by Toronto Crew, or actually Calgary Crew, on elevating your drive and what drives you, and it's at 5 o'clock. The next one is on June 17th at 12, and it's the Real Jobs Lunchbox Chat. We have the Elevate Your Career Part 2 that will be focusing on building your brand on June 24th. And I'm proud to announce that the Oxford Properties signature sponsor event of the Economic Outlook with Dr. Avery Schenfeld will be taking place on June 25th at 2:30. You can learn more and register through our e-blast and websites. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our 2020 sponsors as displayed on the presentation. Your sponsorship allows us to continue to deliver relevant and important programming for our members, even through challenging times, and we very much appreciate your support for Toronto Crew, so thank you. I would now like to address a few housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded. I think we all just got that notice. You're all on mute and without camera. Please remember to use the chat functions. So it allows you to say hello to each other in addition to answering, or not answering, but asking questions. The mission of Toronto Crew is that we are dedicated to helping women excel and influence and lead throughout their real estate careers. During this unprecedented time, the board has thought of what that means given the current landscape, and we feel that offering programs that support our members as many of us adjust to working from home. So without further ado, I will pass it off to Nicole Clancy from Haworth and Lori Urwin from HOK, who will advise you on creating or adjusting your work from home space to be more productive and comfortable. Over to you guys.
Fantastic. Thanks for the great intro, Kimberly. So I got the opportunity to do this through Lori, who reached out and had this fantastic, their team had this fantastic idea for an event. So very excited to be joining you as part of this. I get the pleasure of introducing and telling you a little bit about Lori. I've known her for just about 10 years now. And the one thing for those of us who know Lori always note is she is always an energetic and very smiling force. You'll see her out at networking events. She's always extremely approachable, which is also so welcome for all of us at Toronto Crew. The other thing about Lori is she is now been a senior interior designer for 25 years and is a practice leader at HOK. For any of you who need to be able to see Lori's work, if you've toured the EY towers, her work really speaks for herself. It's a phenomenal space that she and her team put together, as well as many, many other projects she's done over the years. And a little interesting tidbit about Lori that you may not notice unless you see her entering an event is Lori often rides her bike, very often to work or to meetings or events. So she really leads a very socially and environmentally responsible life that I really admire that she's able to keep that up. So as we take a look at our event before Lori takes us into the presentation, just to acknowledge that this group that we have here is definitely a very assertive, very hardworking group that's always looking for the edge in being more productive and doing more with what they have. And that's definitely what we're here today to be able to share. So CNBC shares that right now there's about 5 million of us working from home. And of that, they believe that there is the opportunity for us to be more productive in what we're doing. So we're saving on our transportation time. We're possibly having the opportunity to be more focused. And today's presentation is about trying to help you get there. The other thing is I don't know if anybody's done the comparison. Lori and I chatted about this. Who's up, who's down? How's your bank account doing? Myself, I can say definitely having some great opportunities for savings. HOK's done statistics and found that almost 50% of us have a moderate to significant savings financially. So there is some great opportunities if we want to try to look at the positive side of what we're all going through right now, and today's presentation is all about trying to take advantage of those positives. Now, to try to further motivate the group to pay more attention during the presentation and try to do all you can in your own scenario, we are going to be having a little contest where Haworth is donating a $50 Amazon gift card to the individual who takes the best before and after picture of their current work setting. So look around at your environment, absorb what it looks like today, and provides us the best after taking in the tips of today's presentation. So please keep that in mind as we go through the presentation, and you can email in your submissions, and we will definitely let you know by early next week who our winner is at the most improved. So as we start out, today's presentation is about how to raise your work from home game. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Lori.
Thank you very much, Nicole. That was a very nice introduction. So today, working from home is a reality for many of us. I think we're in week 13, but I think people are struggling to adjust to the new environments. So, kind of questions that you should start asking yourself are you sleeping at night? Are you having back pains? Are you getting headaches at 2 o'clock every afternoon? So hopefully some of these tips and tricks will help with those items so that you're less distracted and you can focus more at work. Your space should respond to your changing needs, helping you eliminate uncomfortable postures, eye strain, and help enhance your communication with your clients, your team members, your managers. We really want to focus on getting rid of the distractions and being able to excel in this new work environment. So first, we're going to talk about strategy. It looks like we're going to be here for a little bit longer. So I think we need to, if you haven't already, figured out your routine, figure out your strategy. Are you playing it day by day? Are you working in your PJs? Or are you get up, work out, take a shower, get dressed kind of a person? Personally, that's what I've been doing because that's what I feel best, and I feel like I can work better when I do those little things. So no judgment on the PJs, but just start to think about stuff like that. And perhaps you need to make a change to your routine if you feel like you've hit a wall. Now, are you working at a kitchen table or do you have a designated room? Please, everyone, take a look around. Look around your existing desk. What does it look like? Seriously. My view is there's a saying, messy bed, messy head. I work best when my desk is neat and tidy. I have places for everything. So you're going to see that in a few minutes. And what it does is it helps you focus, and it also allows you not to stress about it. So if it's nice and clean, it's less stressful. I have a little cup for my pens, a little cup for my headphones, a little tray for some blank papers, and then I got a little tray here for active files. I picked mine up at EQ3. They're quite lovely. Staples has offering some. Your local office furniture supplier like Nicole could probably also set you up if you want a little bit more of an executive look. So desk setup. I like a desk near the window. Research from 2007, University of Minnesota, says big sky thinking is done best in expansive views. Also, a research from 2008, University of Chicago, supports the views of nature that boost memory and focus. So if you can select a space in your house or condo where you can have expansive views to windows, you can look at trees and clouds, that is really ideal, but not everybody has that opportunity. So try to incorporate wood grain furniture, a color scheme with blues and greens that reflect nature. Put a piece of artwork on the wall that is nature inspired. A lot of those also have similar benefits. You may be inspired to invest in furniture or do a small renovation. Be creative and budget conscious. Think about locations that you have in your house that you probably wouldn't think to put a desk, like a desk in the closet. This is a lovely one. Perhaps in a bedroom. This is set up quite nice and facing the window. And under the stairs. That's always very creative. There's many possibilities, so start thinking about that. I'm really excited to see some of your photos that you're going to be submitting. Now we're going to talk about the chair setup. I've recruited my husband to help me out. His name is Bill, with the camera angle so you can really visually see. So I'm going to turn off my camera for one moment, and so that you're not getting any motion sickness. Just give us a second to set this up.
It's become lovingly known as the Blair Witch. Don't Blair Witch in.
Exactly. Exactly. And
as we transition through, we will say that the contest is also open to anyone who's listening to this as a recording. So don't think that you've lost the opportunity just because you weren't here live. Okay, there we have Lori sitting.
Great. Good. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to stand up for a moment. Here we have a loaner chair from Haworth. And it's the fern chair. I'm just going to do a little spin around. It's quite lovely. It has a lot of options on this chair. I'm going to go through just a small amount of them. First thing you want to do is sit in the chair, and you want to make sure that you're all the way back, so that you're all the way back.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're all the way back. Now, as you can see, or not, I'm not at the right height. My feet are dangling. So you want to lower it. You don't want to go too low. You want to make sure that your legs are your knees are at 90 degrees. So you're going to lift it up a bit. Okay. There we go. And yeah, so keep it at 90 degrees. Now, when you're talking about your shoulders, you want to make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed, because what that will do is give you some pain if it's not relaxed all up here, which is not comfortable. So if I was sitting like this would be very painful even after like 15 minutes.
Which, going to look at offices, I will say it is so often that we see people with the armrests up really high, and you can see it in their shoulders and neck. So just maybe take a look and think about how yours is positioned.
Exactly. Thank you. And what you know, I have a short body and long arms, so I put these all the way down to the bottom. So that's really key. If you are going to purchase a new chair, think about you know, your adjustable arms, because it you know, like I said, you don't want to be distracted by a sore neck all the time. It's not pleasant. So if I was to turn here and start typing, so you want to have your elbows at 90 degrees, you can see that my laptop is too high. So then my shoulders go up and it's very uncomfortable. Now, I personally, for my work, I don't spend a lot of time typing. I spend a lot of time on phone calls. But if I was going to spend, you know, a couple of hours on emails, what I would do actually, and this is kind of a little trick that I've done, I've brought up my chair a little bit and I've put some yoga blocks. I don't know if you can see them. Some yoga blocks to keep at that 90 degrees. And that way my elbow's still at 90 degrees and I'm able to type. And this is a good posture. You also want to make sure that your screen is about arm's length away, so not too close, not too far. And then for lighting, have your light off to the side. You want to disperse the amount of light on the task at hand. If you don't want it in front of you, glaring at your eyes. You don't want it behind you because you create a shadow and you can't see what's on your desk. This will reduce eye strain and headaches if you have your lighting set up properly. This one here moves up and down, it comes across. That's a Dyson one that I picked up. So that is, Nicole, did I cover everything?
I was just going to make a little note about how many of us sit on the front of our chair and then we end up doing the natural croning kind of thing where we lean forward. If you have a good back on your chair, it's great to try to lean all the way back and really of the back that's in your chair. And then as Lori's doing there, she's going to talk a little bit about movement and how important it is. If you have your chair so that it's able to move and bounce while you're sitting, if you're taking a phone call and you can lean back, open up your body, keep your circulation moving, it's going to help not slow us down as much throughout the day and get tired at that 3 o'clock kind of tiredness time. The more we can keep ourselves moving, keep our circulation, it's going to be able to assist us there.
Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. So we're going to move back to the presentation. We're going to turn off the camera so nobody gets motion sickness. Thank you. Put it back. That's great.
Don't we all wish we had the beautiful views that Lori has out of those condo windows? It's an all glass room. It's just gorgeous.
It's yeah, it's also a little bit of a hotbed too when it there we go. I'll see my screen. That's the chair set up. Oh, put me back on. There we go. Yeah. Sorry guys.
Lori, do you want to tell us a little bit about the beautiful camera you're demonstrating with?
Oh yeah, this is it's not connected to my laptop. It's an Eagle Eye. Apparently they're running short of those, but they've been quite popular these times. Why can't I change? Sorry, next slide. There we go. Yeah, no, it's been quite popular. It's a high definition camera. It's been very useful, not just for work calls, but also for personal calls because I can bring it around the condo. So that's a nice picture of lighting. Okay, so movement. All right, now that we're sitting properly, even with good posture, movement is key. I'm asking everybody to stand up during this part of the presentation. Movement is very key throughout your entire day. So please move around. You may want to, I'm not going to move up because I'm got the camera going, but please, yeah. So when we're talking about when we go to our traditional office like we used to, you know, you would get to the office, you walk around, get your key, you get your coffee, talk to your folks. You're moving around. When here we're meeting with people, we're always in front of our screen. So you need to try to create some movement throughout your day. One consideration is to get a sit-stand desk. I'm actually seriously thinking about it myself. A lot of the principles to setting up your sit-stand is very similar to what you have from the sitting position, making sure your monitor is at arm length away, your elbows are at 90 degrees and not crimping up on your shoulders, your screen to be at eye level roughly. And then what you want to do from a standing point of view, make sure both your feet are planted firmly on the ground, not like this picture is showing here. And you don't want to be leaning on your desk. If you're leaning on your desk, you may consider sitting down, because obviously you'd probably be tired. And if you don't have a sit-stand desk, there are some workarounds. Kitchen counter, bar counter, ironing board, or dresser. I personally haven't done the ironing board thing. I'm be afraid that my technology will fall off, but try it, see what happens. And also think about the tasks that you're doing. If you need to read a document for a period of time, we want to make sure that maybe you move to a comfortable chair or a sofa in your house so that you can read that document. So just because you're not at your desk or in front of your laptop doesn't necessarily mean that you're not working. So please get up and try different positions in your house. Continually incorporate movement and visual breaks to your day. Try a short walk before you even start work. Try having a short walk at lunch. Some people wear Fitbit or some sort of fitness device and it sends signals to remind you to stand up or stretch. If you have 5 minutes in between a meeting, do some yoga stretches. There's lots of good things online that you can do. And another tip for building in extra steps throughout the day, don't keep your giant thermos of coffee next to you. Keep it in the kitchen so that you're running back and forth to fill up. That will help with your steps. Eye safety. This is, again, we are constantly connected to our laptops and to Zoom meetings. Not only do you need to move your body, but you do need to move your eyes. Give your eyes a break. The rule of thumb is every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Also remember to blink more. That's really important. Now we're going to move on to the environment. We want to make sure we soak up some sun. Sunlight, even filtered through a window, has been shown to improve your mood. If you can situate your work environment to some natural light, that is ideal. If not, then take those opportunities to walk outside when you can. Bringing in some plants. Plants reduce stress. Whenever I see my plant and it's growing, it just makes me so happy and joyful. Plants also improve indoor air quality. They also lower background noise. There's a lot of great benefits to having plants. Or even flowers. Going to the grocery store and picking up a $8 bunch of flowers is beautiful. I'm going to spend 3 minutes on presenting at home so that we can finish on time and also have some questions from everybody that's participating. Eye contact. So eye contact is so important when you're on a Zoom call or some sort of web call. You want to be able to connect with your audience. Now, when I'm speaking of this whole scenario here, don't just think of if you're presenting in a webinar. Think about all of your meetings that you are having with your clients, with your coworkers, with your boss, everybody. So think of this as your brand and your presence, especially when we can't see each other. So what you want to do is you want to center your face to the top third of the screen. Try not to cut out your forehead, and if you can include an elbow, that would be great, and make sure you smile. A little presenter's trick: stack some books or yoga blocks or board games, as it may be, to bring your camera up to eye level, and position your notes close to the camera so you're not always looking down. You want to be able to keep eye contact as much as possible. Your background. Your background is the view that's behind you. You want to clear it of clutter, add some artwork, some plants, sit next to a bright window so that it gives a nice glow to your room. Try not to sit behind a blank wall. You want to showcase your personality. If you're meeting with new people, you want to be able to show your personality. not only through yourself, but through everybody else. When I started in school, it was a recession and I worked at a call center, and our manager spoke to everybody. And one of the first pieces of advice that I've always remembered was dress for the position you want, not for the position that you have. And that has stayed with me. And just think, this is your brand, and it's not only important for any type of webinar, but any type of presence on camera. So when you're thinking about clothing, white, black, and micro patterns are difficult for the camera. So try to avoid these, which is a shame because most of my closet is white and black. But introduce colors that flatter your skin. Typically they're teals and turquoise and red, navy, and blush. They really, you want to enhance your natural colors. And then for accessories, make sure that you don't, they don't make noise or clang. Wear smaller earrings. If you want to add some, again, some personality without any noise, and a neck scarf is always really nice. I'm always a big fan of those. Hair and makeup. So try to keep your hair off your face. Avoid constantly moving it, perhaps in a ponytail or a clip. For your makeup, you want to keep it as natural as possible during these times. You are working from home, but the camera, it actually washes your color out. So adding a little bit of blush and lip gloss and mascara, just those couple little things helps put everything together. And so contrary to what we were talking about, the lighting before, you want the lighting to be right on you during a presentation. So this picture here shows one of those cheap ring lights. They're really great if you can get those clamped on. They're not that expensive on Amazon. Maybe that's what you do with your Amazon winnings. Remember, the bigger the light, the softer the light, and the better that you look. So if you don't want to invest in a ring light, then you can obviously just put a lamp in front of your face. So really, I hope everything here made you think about how you can work your best and how you can focus and stay positive and make the most out of every day, because not every day is an easy day. Thank you. So Nicole, do we have questions?
I do not see any questions yet in the chat. Anyone who has any questions for Lori or anyone else, please feel free to enter them. The one question I will ask you though, Lori, is if people do want additional resources, where else can they get information on how to improve their situation?
Right, thank you. Please reach out to me. I do have an arm list of products and websites to visit, some resources. I really don't mind for anybody to come and ask me for them. There's a lot of great products on sites. You know, you saw some of them in the images. I'll be happy to share them.
Okay. Another question is, if there was one item that you had to prioritize, is there any one thing here that really stands out to you as a key pivotal thing to improving your work from home game?
I think out of everything is, I'm going to say two things. Excuse me, natural light, absolutely, to bring that in. I know for me, sunshine just improves my mood, and also movement, like just move around the house, you know, in between meetings, put on some music, move around your chair, sit back, relax. I'm, you know, especially when you're stuck in your house all day long, create these moments for movement, and you'll start to think differently. You'll think of other things. I think it's really a positive.
Okay, terrific. All right. The last question, just around working from home and how to improve our environment generally. When do people make the call? If they're sitting in a dining room chair, you mentioned kind of briefly some of the symptoms of people having issues. Can we just reiterate to people what it is? If they're sitting in a kitchen chair, when did they decide, okay, this is it, this is a key marker that we should stop?
I think we really need to listen to our bodies. If you are in pain, if you're in severe pain, please call a professional doctor. But I think you really need to listen to your body and do what's good, what's best for you. Yeah, I think anything that you do.
One thing I wanted to mention too was a lack of sleep. If anyone finds that they're waking up in the night, certainly stress can cause that, but your body telling you that you're hurting during the day will keep you up at night too. So if you're sleeping at night, just consider that the working environment that you're in during the day could influence your sleep. And sleep is so important to all of us.
It is very important. Great.
Okay. I see Sharon has taken over control. Anything else, Kimberly, from Toronto Crew before we go?
Toggling with the mute and unmute switch. No, I think I covered everything at the introduction. So I hope to see other people who are participating in this event and upcoming events. June is a busy month. We've got lots going on. And so I just want to actually thank you guys for doing this event. I know I learned a lot. I'm going to be moving where my lamp is and getting some games out of the basement to elevate where my screen camera is. So thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you very much for having us.
Absolutely.
Be safe and be well, everybody.
Thank you.